Okay, everyone. I'm Nikki. This is John. This
the barmaid.
The lighting is terrible. If you don't know us already, we normally do recaps. So we normally talk about reality shows, but about half
that are awful and have no worth.
Mostly, we make fun of polygamists. But recently, we've been getting a lot of comments that are like, "Oh, we want to see more of your life. We want to see more of what you're doing. We don't watch the show, but we like to watch you."
Okay, creeper.
No, but if you're not watching the show, then why are we watching the show? So we thought, well, maybe we'll try to figure out something else that we can do to bring more content in that doesn't involve us watching terrible people on TV. So we thought, what are we passionate about? And the answer to that is liquor. Not really, but we are, if there's like foodies, we're kind of like that with liquor. So we like to go to the store and get...
Yeah, we don't know what we're talking about, but
right.
We sure know what when we're enjoying it, right?
Yeah, so we're not super snobby, but we are into...
Speak for yourself.
We're a little snobby. We're a little snobby, but we like to go and get like unusual things. I prefer like ciders, seltzers, kind of mixed drinks. John prefers beers and wine. So we picked out what?
Dark beer.
Okay.
And full-bodied Cabernet.
Okay, so John is much more of a snob than me. So we got some. So it just happened to be that this week we went. Gosh, this lighting is so harsh. I look all. Anyway, we happened to have gone to the liquor store and picked up a whole bunch of new stuff. We're in Colorado, and so we get a lot. Our local liquor store has a lot of Colorado-specific stuff. So we got a whole bunch, and we're like, oh, maybe it would be fun to drink some and to give our opinion. So if you stumbled across us thinking that we are projecting ourselves as professional mixologists or something, we are not.
No.
We're not. We're not. Talk about hot sauces or something.
I mean, anyway. Yeah. I mean, if we were, we'd like the IPAs and the...
John's got a real issue with IPAs.
Yeah, like, if I wanted somebody to burp over my beer with a flavor...
I'd
pay somebody to burp over my beer with a flavor, but guess what? I don't want that.
Right. So,
no, I just don't like IPAs.
We decided we'd use, so my grandmother, the one thing that I got from my grandmother was all of her fancy cocktail glasses. I got out 6, none of them match. They're all different. They're probably expensive or something, but I've never used them, so I was like, oh, perfect. So, where do you want to start? We haven't tasted all these.
One for you. And one for me.
Should we start with one that
we'll do yours first.
No. Do you want to start with one we haven't tasted before?
Sure.
Okay. So one of the requests that we got in the video that we thought we could mix in here was how we met. But we'll start with this. We're going to start with, let's see if I can do this correctly. If you can see that, like a real YouTuber. It is Ska Brewing Hard Seltzer inspired Paloma. So, Ska Brewing is local to us. It is located in Durango. Basically anything west of the Rockies we're going to consider local. That's just how that works in Colorado. This is a hard seltzer. I did my little bit of research. Gluten-free, 5% alcohol by volume, 100 calories, 2 carbs, and they've been in business since 1995. So we have not tried this before. Are you ready to go ahead and try it? Smells nice. Smells nice.
Next.
Okay, so it doesn't taste like much of anything,
it ain't my thing.
Which is very on par for hard seltzers.
Oh, I was gonna say for hipsters.
For hipsters, yeah. So if you like, what is that? What's that drink that everyone likes?
IPAs.
No. The one that that everybody on the film set had to have. That water that tasted like nothing.
I don't.
Carbonated water.
Perrier.
I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? The stuff. So it tastes just kind of like that. It smells great. Paloma is it's a citrus. And that's what it smells like. And it tastes like nothing. I bet you'd pair well with really hot food. Okay.
Well, at least the design is
So Ska Brewing is your very typical. It's got ska here. I would say that they're building a new center, and they're doing it mostly wind energy. I read that they're going to be insulating the building with recycled denim, like from jeans that can't be recycled. They're going to use that for their insulation. They're going to be doing composting and recycling the mash that they use. And I think we have another one of their beers somewhere. But anyway, do you have anything you want to add? People want your witty repartee.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to give them a little story about how we met?
Yeah. All right. So, the whole truth?
Oh, no.
Or just hardly the truth?
It's hardly the truth.
So, I decided, we met online, and right away she's like, well, let's meet and see if this guy's real, I guess. And I was like, well, I guess, okay.
He had bought a year membership to eHarmony. A year.
Yeah.
And we met 2 weeks into it. I, on the other hand, had been on and off eHarmony for years. And every year I went back, it was worse than the last. And this time before I met him, I had this string of terrible dates. So I was an adjunct professor at the time. I taught archery at a university and I was a college coach. And so I had these TAs that had been with me in my class for several years and they were paid to help teach the class. That's what a TA does. And they loved hearing my dating stories because each one was progressively worse than the last. And I shared that in one of the last videos where I said it was a big deal because I wanted this date and there wasn't like a million red flags because they had been getting progressively. The date before him, we didn't even make it to the date before I had to call it off because it was so bad. He wanted a picture of me next to like a newspaper to prove that I looked like my picture. He wanted to spend the night before our first date, before we had met. He told me that he always had sex on the first date, but now that he was a Christian, his pastor told him that he couldn't do that anymore, so we needed to get married fast, is what he told me. Hadn't even had the first date yet. So I came into this date, and the expectations were like, literally, I was like, he wasn't insane. And everyone's like, hey, that's a great sign. That's the best deal you've had so far. Okay, so that's the first step of our dating story.
So anyway, the week before I went out on my first date from eHarmony. So you love it, huh? Anyway, and that went like...
Well, she didn't look anything like... It was catfishing. She
showed up, and I don't mean to... people that look a certain way, but she showed up with two extra chins. And
the point
it
was
was
she
not
looked...
the girl in the picture, and if it was, I mean, maybe a relative, a cousin, once removed, but so that I got stuck there paying for full dinner.
So we just did dessert.
A little disappointed. So I like, well, with this one, we'll see if who's in the picture shows up or it's some fat old white dude. So I was like, yeah, we'll do dessert. It was a nice higher end place, but it was just dessert.
Okay, hold on.
Wasn't it? No.
I mean, it was nice, but higher end. It was the melting pot.
So it's expensive.
It is a little expensive, but he's making it sound like he took me out to, like...
Anyway, now we have
me to Europe.
Rogue Panda Fluff.
Okay, so the second one is...
White Stout.
Rogue Panda White Stout. You can see it's orange. 6.5 alcohol by volume.
5.6.
Newport... What?
5.6.
Oh, 5.6. Either I wrote it wrong
so
or they had it wrong.
It's not a proper stout at all.
So, John, do you want to give them a lecture on what a proper stout is?
Dark, heavy, rich, sweet, high alcohol content.
Oh, gosh. I just forget. I don't like beer. So it's like there's no... Every single time...
I mean, this is like a weak IPA. It's... Yeah.
It's Panda Fluff, so I don't know what that's supposed to taste like, but it's your very typical beer for me, which is that I just don't like it. And by the way, we had lunch, but we have not had dinner. So this is going to get a little messier as we go on. And we don't really know what we're doing yet. So I guess we have 2 more cups, so we have 1 more. Should we do an Old Faithful? Should we try one of the new ones?
Why don't we save this for you, because I know I'm going to drink that. So I'll just drink out of the can for that one.
Which one?
The one we're going to do now.
This one?
Yeah.
This is for me.
Yeah. Oh.
Well,
yeah,
anyway.
I'll sip it out of the... Or I'll
Okay.
sip it in the glass, and the other person will have a can.
So we went on our first date, and I was in grad school at the time, and I came straight from a class. I was dressed, I thought, kind of cute, like a little retro. I had a little shirt with like a little pop on it. It had little short sleeves, and then I had like jean cutoffs, and I think Converse with like kind of like high socks. I thought it was like a cute 70s retro look. You didn't think that, did you?
Well, my first impressions, First impression?
Oh, geez.
Damn. Like, she is out of my league. Like...
That is such a line, but it works every time he says it. Every single time he's
but it's the truth. I mean, I was like, oh, man. Well, I hope I get a second date, but we'll see how this goes. But I thought, okay, so showed up, and I kind of... Well, she came after a class of teaching archery.
No, I was teaching. I was in grad school for sports psych, so I came after my sports psych class.
Okay.
And at the time, I drove this little green Blazer, which I had forever. I got it in high school, and I drove it literally for like 15 years until my family made me give it. I ended up giving it to a nephew so that he could have a new car. No one forced me to, but it was like, we'll give you a new truck. My dad was trading out his truck, and so he's like, you can have the truck, and they can have it if you give anyway. And I had 2 Great Danes at the time, 150 pounds each, and so they were in the car. It was a nice, cool evening. They're Great Danes, so I just left the window, like this much down. They couldn't get out. It was like 50 degrees out. They were really comfortable, but they were in the car, and you thought that was super weird.
Well, I was just like, I was like
an
easy out. I thought that was because but she didn't take it. But I was. Afterwards,
we walked out to the car, and we talked by the car, and then that was like a Wednesday, and then we set up a date. No, we didn't set up another date. I texted him the next morning and said what a lovely time I had, and I really enjoyed it and appreciated him. And that's when he's like, hey, do you want to go to the shooting range on Saturday?
Yep.
That was our second date.
Because my friend in the industry, working in my unit, under me, at the time, he really pushed. He's like, she sounds like the best one so far, because he knew I just, got a divorce. And
then dated your sister's best friend. And it's not a big deal. He dated his sister's best friend, but I'll tell you what, when we were dating, and his ex-girlfriend's pictures were all over his mom's kitchen, not that thrilling, because it had been her best friend since high school.
The first time you met Mom.
Oh, so the first time. Okay, well, should we talk about this? So this is our go-to, our favorite, I would say one of our favorite ciders. It's Ace. They're out of California, Ace Premium Ciders. We've only had this one, so I can't say anything about the rest of them, but it's pineapple, and it is amazing. It is so good. We actually have a story about this. So anyway, this is the one we both love. We buy it by the big box. We love it. Highly recommend it. We swear that we first had this in 2015. We were at a archery tournament in Florida. We went to, what was the name of that place? The Shipyard? What is it?
The Yard House?
Yard House. So I don't know if they're very common. We had one in Orange County where we met, and then there was one out in Florida, and they're just known for having this hugely extensive beer list. And we swear we had it in Florida, and we swear it was this brand. I even went and looked at other brands to see who else had a pineapple cider and we know it was 2015 because that was the last year I went to this, the only year I went to that tournament. And we swear we had this cider, but on the website and on the stuff, it says that it was invented in 2016. So either
we're time travelers.
We just
wanted to put that out there.
Or that's when it was officially released, and maybe that's one of the test markets. We don't really know. So if someone from Ace has the inside knowledge on how we possibly could have tried it in 2015.
Because we're so important, somebody
Orlando
would totally be watching.
No, but some of their market medias do have a Google alert set up so that anytime someone, I don't know, the people, the Arctic Fox people that did the hair dye posted. So maybe they will, but you're right. But anyway, so this is the one that we're going to recommend right off the bat. Not that we're really doing a recommendation video, but...
But anyway.
So good. So good. It is not low carb, though. It's 150 calories.
So I remember
12 carbohydrates isn't bad.
I remember on that first date, the nicest thing you said about me was, oh, well...
You were normal?
Yeah, that was...
That was what we said. I didn't say it to your face.
I don't know what that means.
Did I say it to your face?
Yeah.
Oh, I had a really rough time dating. I had a guy a couple weeks earlier, across the street, in fact. I ate across the street with him. Also a meal that I got trapped into, who leaned across the table 5 minutes in, grabbed my hand, and said, my mom died when I was 4.
Oh, man.
And all I've wanted in my life is to marry and have kids as soon as possible. We're 5 minutes into a date. And it's you're on eHarmony, so not Grindr. We didn't have Grindr or Tinder or whatever it is back then. So... I kind of knew this, but it was just a lot. It was a lot really fast. And that was like the level of intensity that he brought to everything he said. It's like, yeah, I was looking to get married. I was 30. I was like, tick tock, but I didn't necessarily need to get married that night. And then I went on a date with a principal who ghosted me. Man, so many bad dates. Do you want to do another one?
Yeah.
Here, that's... What do you want? Do you want that one?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Okay.
Are you going to finish it?
Well, yeah.
We're opening up a lot of beers. Are we going to finish these all tonight?
No, I just plan on having one.
Okay. Maybe we shouldn't open up anymore?
It's for the people.
It's for the people. I don't think they're going to like this video. There's not a lot going on.
Well, we got to learn somehow.
I guess that's true. Okay. So this is Climb Hard Ciders. I thought it was Climb Hard Cider, but it's Climb Hard Cider. Anyway, grapefruit ginger hard cider, 5.8 ABV. I looked them up. They are out of no artificial flavors, gluten-free, Loveland, Colorado. Other than Cheyenne, Wyoming, it says that they're only available in Colorado. Although, when I looked it up, they didn't have Durango listed, which is where we bought it. So maybe their website's out of date. What do you think? What's your impression?
While it's in your mouth, tastes like a normal cider. As soon as you swallow, you're like, what just happened? Like, and not in a good way to me.
In a good way. I like it. So when it's in your mouth, it has a very mild grapefruit flavor. Very mild. It's more of a, like, if you really press me, I'd be like, yeah, I think that might be grapefruit, but in general, it's a very light citrus taste in general, which is, could be anything. This have that sort of that pink grapefruit taste, and then after you swallow, you go, oh, they call it heat. I guess that's a correct culinary term, but I just catch the ginger, which is not a flavor I used to enjoy, but when I was pregnant, I had terrible morning sickness, and I got addicted to, like, ginger mints. And so now ginger is a very calming flavor to me because it helps with ginger is great for nausea. You can just shred it up, put it in some hot water, and then don't swallow, Anyway, so I like this. And this is really something. Are you going to open that too?
This is the one I want. So.
Oh, I thought you wanted that.
I thought you were going to have that. Anyway, this is what I want.
Okay, so the last one we have, which I will taste, but I already know I don't like because I don't like beer. Is an Evil Twin Brewing. That's one of your favorite companies, right?
I mean, it's the best stout that I can mainly find consistently.
Okay, and this is an Imperial Biscotti Break. Is that what it says?
Yes.
Okay, 11.5 ABV. I think they're brewed in South Carolina. A lot of these websites are really like, I look for an about page where I kind of hope. Smells good. Smells like coffee. Mm-hmm. Biscotti. So smells lovely. Smells like a biscotti. Smells like a coffee biscotti. Tastes like a beer. No shock there.
Imperial stout brewed with coffee, almond, and vanilla extracts.
Yeah.
Added.
Oh gosh, this is nice. So there you go. Anything to add about that date? So he was lovely.
It hasn't ended yet.
Oh, I know. We went on our second date a few days later and basically became inseparable, I think. It was one of those days where we were supposed to go out and, then he picks me up at my place, drops me off at my place. Why don't you come inside, hang out for 6 or 7 hours, 10 hours, 15 hours. And then I think we went, I don't think we did anything on Sunday, but I think right away.
No, I went up and told a girl I wasn't going to see her again on Sunday.
Now, did you go on that date?
I mean, it wasn't a date. It was like, I'm going to go see her.
And just tell her I'm not interested?
Basically. Yep.
And I'll tell you what, he didn't tell me that I feel like within the last few years, you were like, oh, by the way, I had a date planned after our date. And and then for a long time he claimed he couldn't remember if he actually went on the date or if he just said no. And you were worried I was going to peace out after 6 years of marriage because you went on one date after our first date.
Doesn't come up every day.
No, but what is funny is after I started dating him, I had 2 different guys call me up to tell me they loved me. And I was like, Too little, too late. That ship has sailed. You've had years to tell me that. You now all of a sudden, suckers. That's okay. I think they're both divorced, or at least one of them. I know one of them's divorced, but I don't know about the other one.
One of them's divorced. The other just looks like it.
Just likes to pretend. Okay, so that was our drink video. I have no idea if you'll like it, but we tried. So, any parting words?
I didn't try too hard.
Okay. Bye.